All right, y'all. Welcome to another edition of Silence Video Not Life. My name is Adewale Booker Jr. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be hater. Today, I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite superhero TV shows. I mean, I watch a lot of superhero TV shows, but these 10 are my favorite. I watch them all the time, constantly. And as you can see, I got now, since we done came up, I got a banner behind me now. You know what I'm saying? Showcasing all my artistic talents and skills, Of course, you got the carjack for Assassins right there. You got the carjacks on one side, the Assassins. Then I got different characters: Black Panther, Mega Man, Wonder Woman, Darth Vader. As y'all can see, you know what I'm saying? On this side over here, we got Ronin Warriors and Street Fighter and Blade and Captain America and Techno Man, Iron Man. So, you name it, I've got it on there. Wolverine, Storm. So let's get into this, man. And with this show today, not only am I going to name the characters in the TV shows, but I'm also going to tell you the actors that play these characters. So, I feel like you got to pay respect to people that are putting in work and give them credit for the things that they do. So here we go. At number 10, I've got Titans/Batwoman. Let's start off with Batwoman. The character, of course, is played by Ryan Wilder, but the real actress name is Javier Leslie, and also Kate Kane, which is played by Ruby Rose, who was Batwoman in the show. Then you've got Beth Kane, played by Rachel Kirsten. Mary Hamilton, who's like a doctor/Poison Ivy now. She's played by Nicole Kang. Sophie is played by Megan Tandy, who's a cop on the show. And then Luke Fox, a.k.a. Batwing, is played by Camaris Johnson. And then, of course, Jacob Kane is played by Dougray Scott. Batwoman is a awesome show. Of course, they transitioned from having Ruby Rose playing Batwoman to Javier Leslie playing Batwoman. And I guess the biggest thing they looked at was, we got a white lady, now we're transitioning to an African-American woman. And I was worried for her. I was like, please let this show keep going good. And sure enough, it did great, because I thought she did spectacular. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think she makes a better Batwoman. That's real talk. She's done a great job. The charisma, the swagger, the talent, the action. She just owns the character, man. And of course, you got the other villains on there. Of course, Mary, who's now a Poison Ivy, which is totally blowing my mind. I cannot wait till the show picks up. I'm like, how does your friend, literally your best friend, becomes your worst enemy? It's crazy, man. But that's what's the good thing about these superhero TV shows. You always have something dramatic and crazy happening. And of course, you got Luke Fox dealing with the PTSD, being Batwing, just getting into the suit, but they're not functioning as he should. You know what I'm saying? So, then we've got Beth Kane. She's just straight crazy, causing chaos everywhere and anywhere she can start stuff. She's really not to be trusted. She's like an ally that you take sides with if you need her, but you got to stay the hell away from her. And then of course, Sophie, she's this cop that's just like trying to find a way ever since she left the force. So, it's a great show. It's got action. It's diverse. I just really enjoy it, man. And it really is in its infancy. Of course, they're going into season 3. Continuing season 2, Yeah, going into season 3, Yeah, it's just a great show. Another good show by CW. I gotta give DC their props. They're actually doing a good job of that, because sometimes DC drops the ball on the movies, but, not Batman or Aquaman, you know what I'm saying? And of course, the new Black Adam movie coming out with The Rock Johnson, you know what I'm saying? But they've done a great job, man. And Batwoman is a great show. So if you haven't watched it, man, you got to catch it. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday, man, on CW. And of course, the app is free on your iPad. So you ain't got to worry about going to YouTube looking for it. Just get on your CW app. It's free. You can watch it. It streams free. And then the other side of that, number 10, is Titans, this TV show. This show over here is off the chain. I just found out like a few minutes ago there's season 3 up. I'm over here waiting for season 3, not knowing season 3, all like 13 episodes already up. So as soon as I get off this podcast, y'all, I'm getting on that right ASAP and getting to watching Titans. This show is fantastic. Starfire, played by Anna Diop. Nightwing, played by Brenton Schwartz. Raven, played by Tegan Croft. Beast Boy, played by Ryan Potter. Dove, played by Minka Kelly. Hawk, played by Alan Richardson. Wonder Girl / Donna, played by Connor Leslie. And then Deathstroke, of course, is played by Isa Morales. And then let me not forget the other characters new to season 3, from what I understand. Blackfire is played by Demarius Lewis. Superboy is played by Joshua Open. And Jason Todd / who's also known as Robin, because he's a different Robin, is played by Corin Walters. This show is so awesome. It's gully. It's just straight raw. It's like very actiony. It's very blunt. It's very charismatic. It's so just awesome. If you've never watched Titans, you are so missing out, because what it does is it allows us to focus on Nightwing and figure out what he became after he left Batman. You know, if you ever watched Batman the Animated Series, you just saw that he came in here and there in the New Adventures of Batman. But on this show, you get to know Dick Grayson. Like, okay, who is Dick Grayson? Nightwing. And then he joins forces with all these other characters. Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy. And they're doing these they're fighting different villains, man. And of course, Deathstroke being their main villain in season 2. He mopped the floor with him, man. But, you know, they eventually beat him. But he gave him a beating. This show is so good. If you've never watched Titans, you have got to go watch it. It's just a no miss. You got to watch it. So that comes in there. At number 10, we got there Batwoman and Titans. At number 9, you got Supergirl, which had 6 seasons, just ended. And of course, you got Superman, the new Superman. This show is off the chain. So start off with Superman. I never liked Superman at all. I didn't like Superman at all till this show came out. Man, this show is so good. And let me list off the characters, y'all. We've got Clark Superman, aka Clark Kent, of course, Superman, played by Tyler Hoechlin. And Lois is played by Betsy Tolkien. Steel is played by Steel/John. It's played by Wale Parks. Morgan Edge is played by Adam Reiner. Jonathan Kent is played by Jordan Ellis. And then Jordan is played by Alexandra Garfin. This show is so sick. Oh my God. It's like I'm watching a movie every time I watch an episode. It's like they spend a whole bunch of money creating this show. And this is usually what happens when a company decides we're going to invest and do the right thing. Because, I mean, for whatever reason, man, Superman has not transitioned very well since the 60s all the way up till now. Even the DC movies, the Justice League, that movie was terrible. It's not so much the actor that was the problem. It's the storylines that just horrible. Of course, Man of Steel was real good with Russell Crowe. That was pretty good. But it's just, they just can't get right, man, with Superman. There's something just missing. And I feel like it's an edge or something. But this show, ain't nothing missing. They need to literally take this actor, Tyler Hoechlin, and let him play the full-length movie, man. I mean, take the whole cast even from Superman TV show and put them all. This show is called Superman and Lois. Take everybody in this show and put them in the movie. That's how good this show is. It's like I said, every time I'm watching an episode, I feel like I'm watching a movie. It's just incredible. CW, y'all hit this one at the park, man. This show is new, but damn, it got on my list. I mean, I don't miss this show episodes at all. I've been watching this since its inception. They do a great job. The storylines are there, and I love the diversity of it. And I love the fact that Steel, who plays /John, who's played by Wale Parks, like, he's not put in a second tier role to a Superman. He's like put to his equal, because his costume is sick as hell. I mean, I remember growing up as a kid watching Superman The Adventures, the one by WB. John still wasn't that. He was cool on the show, but he wasn't that cool. But on this show, oh, he is straight sick, man. I mean, this dude is just off the chain. The costume, the technology, his genius, his intelligence. So, you know, same thing can apply to Superman and all the other characters on the show. It's just one hell of a show, y'all. So if you haven't watched it, please get to watching it. It's free again on CW. Yeah, there's one coming theme right now. I got a lot of CW going on up in here. You know what I'm saying? But they're good shows, man. They're great shows, and they're gonna keep being better. Supergirl just ended 2021, 6 seasons. Played by Melissa Benoist. Make sure I pronounce that right. Her character, of course, is Kara/Supergirl, and then you've got other characters there too. Alex Danvers/Sentry, played by Kyla Lee. John Martian Manhunter, of course, you know what I'm saying, the Martian Manhunter, played by David Haywood. Lena, played by Katie McGrath. Jimmy Olsen/Guardian, because there were 2 Guardians in the show, both brother and sister in the show. Jimmy /Guardian, played by Mekhi Brooks, who also starred in Mortal Kombat that just came out last year. That stuff was sick. Brainiac 5, played by Jesse Rath. And then Nia/Dreamer was played by Nicole, I believe, Maines. And then Cat Grant, played by Callista Flockhart, who owns Catco, of course. And then Kelly Olsen, who's the brother of Jimmy Olsen. She's also Guardian. She takes over the Guardian role, played by Aziz Tesfi. And then, of course, Win. He's the tech guy on the show before he left. I think he left in season 4 or 5. His real name is Jimmy Jordan. So, I mean, all these characters, this show was totally cool, very diverse. I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, I always like Supergirl more than I like Superman. And this show was like a testament to it because I never missed the episode. If I missed it, I caught up to it. It showed how powerful women are. It showed a lot, and what I liked about it was it had a lot of emphasis on the ladies, showing their intelligence, beauty, camaraderie, working together, building things, constructing things, being powerful, just doing all those amazing things. And of course, you interject the dudes in there, but it was just a great show, showing their leadership skills. I mean, this show was just incredible. It was sad to see it go at season 6, which was kind of weird because I feel like once again, DC. This is why sometimes they get on my nerves. They end shows prematurely. It's just ridiculous. And there's another show on this list that I feel like ended the same way too, but I'm not going to get there yet. We're going to get there eventually. But Supergirl was a great show. 6 seasons of total awesomeness. All the actors were fantastic. I loved it. Gonna miss it. It's just an incredible show, y'all. So Superman/Supergirl comes in at number 9. At number 8, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Now, a lot of y'all have never watched this before, but Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad was a superhero show. And the funny thing about it was before its time, right? So it's this superhero that goes into the digital world, which is the computer world, and he fights this character, this villain character that's a computer virus called Kilo Khan. But the funny thing is about the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Show Squad is actually called Gridman in Japan. In America, it's called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, but in Japan, it's called Gridman. Because I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same character. Just when it was brought to America, I guess they changed the whole theme and concept. But it's played by the character who plays the main character, Servo, is called Sam Collins, and the real actor that plays him is Matthew Lawrence. And then, of course, you got Malcolm Frank, who plays Kilo Khan's sidekick, who's played by Glenn Blunden. And then, of course, Kilo Khan himself is played by the great Tim Curry. Sydney, who powers the boar, I think in the show, is played by Robin Mary Florence. And then Tanker is played by Kevin Castro. Amp is played by Troy Slayton. Principal Preckett, rest in peace, sir. John is played by John Wesley, who played the principal on the show. He was totally awesome on that show. He was funny. Rest in peace, John Wesley. And then Yolanda Pritchard who was his daughter, whose daughter played by Kelly Kirkland. This show was totally awesome before its time. Servo would always have to power up by hitting a guitar, then would jump into the cyber system, transform into Servo, fly up, and then he's fighting different types of grid monsters. I mean, this show was sick. I would love to see this show get rebooted, man. I mean, it was so sick. And whenever you have to destroy a villain, be like, grid power. Then you see this beam come out of his hand, and next thing you know, the villain's just getting exploded. I mean, Kilo Khan. The only thing I didn't like about it was Kilo Khan never got to fight. I don't remember him fighting on the last episode, man. I think he fought in some episodes. I always want to see him and Kilo Khan finally go at it, man. And I think they might have went at it on the last episode. I don't remember, but this show went for one season, 53 episodes. That's unheard of. Like, watch superhero shows now. You ain't seen more than 10 episodes tops. This show had 53 episodes. It went from 1994 to 1996, I think, or was it 1994, 1995? But it was 53 episodes, y'all. 53. That's so many episodes. For shows now, that's literally like 5 seasons. You're not seeing that anymore. So if you haven't watched it, either you're going to find it on DVD on Amazon.com, or I don't know where you're going to watch it. Or maybe you can catch episodes on YouTube. I don't know. It's going to be difficult to find that. But Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad comes in at number 8. All right, y'all. So it's time to pay some bills, y'all. This podcast, the Sinus Vision podcast, is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting let your business get to the next level. For details, go to a4capitalconsulting.com. That's a4capitalconsulting.com. And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details. For details, go to AnadelCenter.com. So, y'all, we got the bills paid, so let's keep this show going. At number 7, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. went from 2013 to 2020, but I heard possibilities that it might be coming back for season 8, so 7 seasons of awesomeness. This show was totally awesome. Starring Daisy, who's played by Chloe Bennett, aka Quake, Mac, played by Henry Simmons, May, played by Maiden Wynn. She's also on the new show Boba Fett. Don't miss that out. That's on Disney Plus, y'all. So that show is popping and happening. You know what I'm saying? Gemma Simmons, played by Elizabeth Hetheridge. Coulson's played by Clark Gregg, who was also in some Avengers movies. Fist is played by Ian D. Keka. And Yo-Yo is played by Natalia Cordova Buckley. She's fast as hell on the show. I mean, it's ridiculous. Deck Shaw he's in the future. Like once that season starts getting to like season 5, Dex Shaw comes in and now he's part of the future. He's played by Jeff Ward, and then Grant Ward, he's played by Brett Dalton, who's like a part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then becomes a villain. And he doesn't just become any kind of villain. Like he becomes like a nemesis villain. Like this dude is just off the chain. I mean, this show was awesome. They fought the Kree. They fought in space. They fought on Earth. They even joined forces with the Inhumans. Then Daisy got to find out that she's a descendant of an Inhuman. And it was crazy. She got to meet her mother. The show transitioned. First, it focused on centering on Coulson. Then it centered on Daisy. Then it got centered on Mac being in charge at the end, becoming the director on season 7. I mean, then they went to the 60s. Then they went to the 70s. Then they came back to the 2000s. I mean, I loved this show. I was bummed out when it ended. I'm like, can't they just keep it going? I mean, it is Disney. Y'all got money. Shoot. Just come up with stories, man. I mean, if y'all coming up to season 8, might as well keep it going season 9 and season 10. It was an incredible show. 7 seasons of awesomeness. Loved it. I loved how they would have special guests like Samuel Jackson, of course, Nick Fury. They had some of the people from Thor on there. Lady Sif. I mean, they had, oh my God, who else did they have? I think they might have had Hawkeye on there, maybe. I mean, but the show was cool. It started off with a bunch of characters on the team, and then slowly people were leaving or either dying off. But it was sort of real, which is cool. You know, have a team, you lose friends and you lose heroes and you celebrate them. So it was just a great show, y'all. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you have Disney Plus, you can definitely watch it. Disney Plus, you can definitely watch that. I don't know where else you can watch. Maybe Amazon Prime. I'm not too sure. And you for sure ain't gonna find it on YouTube because Disney don't play that. So if you like that show that much, as much as I liked it, get your butt and get Disney Plus and get your watching on. You know what I'm saying? So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in at number 7. At number 6, Flash. 7 seasons and still going strong. This show is awesome. You got, of course, Flash, played by Grant Gustin. Iris West, played by Candace Parton. Vibe, played by Carlos Valdez. I was bummed out when he left the show, man. I still ain't gotten over it, man. I'm still tripping that Vibe isn't on the show. It's just weird, man. You know what I'm saying? Joe West, played by Jesse L. Martin, who is also, if you remember him, he played in oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting the show. I can't remember the show right now. I can't believe I just went blank, y'all. And then, of course, you got Harrison West, played by Tom Cavanaugh. Allegra, played by Kay Compton. Chuck, played by Brandon McKnight. He's not the tech dude on the team, so he took Vibe's spot, took Cisco's spot, which is freaky. It's still tripping me out, man. I mean, I'm glad to have the brother on the show, but can't we have the brother? Can we have Cisco and the brother on the show? Have both of them? I mean, it's 2 for 1, man. You got 2 smart dudes on the show. You got Cecile, who's a cop / district attorney, played by Danielle Nicolette. And then, of course, you got Nora West. She's the daughter of Flash and Iris. She's played by Jessica Kennedy Parker. Man, this show is awesome. From season 1 up until right now, I ain't missed nothing. Of course, you just had the 5-part special, Armageddon, with Flash joining forces with Black Lightning, Arrow, Century, who else left out there? Batwoman. I mean, this show just never ceases to fail. The storyline keeps getting better and better. I mean, it's just, and I love the fact that everybody, even though Flash is the center point of the whole thing, but everybody brings something to the table. Joe West is sort of his conscience. His wife is sort of like, okay, this is the limits of the things you can do. Cisco's the tech dude when he was there. I'm still bummed out that he's not there. You got Caitlin. She's the ice queen. She's the smarts of the team. Comes up the cures. Also, she's also Killer Frost. I mean, and then of course you got Reverse Flash / Harrison West, who's just always find a way to make their lives miserable, man. If you've never watched Flash, the TV show, you have got to watch it. You will not be disappointed. I mean, don't bother watching from where it is right now. Just start from the beginning because it's not going to make any sense. Everything is joined together. That's what I love about this show. It's all concurrent. It's all attached to each other. Every season picks up from wherever the other one left off at. So you got to start from season 1, y'all. So Flash comes in at number 6, y'all. At number 5, Power Rangers. But let me be specific. First 2 seasons was my best season ever. Of course, you got Zeo, SPD, Ninja Storm, Mystic Rangers. I mean, it's just endless. But we're talking about the ones I specifically liked, with Jason, who's played by Austin St. John, Zach, played by Walter Jones, Trini, played by Thai Thrang, rest in peace. She was just amazing on the show, man, but rest in peace. Billy, played by David Yost, Amy Jo Johnson, who plays Kimberly. Tommy is played by Jason David Frank. And then you've got Alpha 5. You got Zordon, played by David Fielding. You got Rita, played by Mikiko Sugar. Rest in peace, too. She passed away. And then Bulk and Skull. Those guys are just off the chain funny. This show was awesome. It was the first time since Voltron that I've seen that 5 things come together. But they didn't go for lions. They went with like dinosaurs, which is sort of an invention too. But like I've stated before in the past, Voltron, anything we do with 5, you got to give props to Voltron. So we're paying homage to Voltron in a way. This show was awesome. Now, of course, Megazord is the first Megazord ever. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think Thunder's Megazord is my favorite Megazord of all. I think it's mostly because he looks like a samurai. And it's got that big old samurai sword, and he's got that thunder strike when he does the superhero thing. I mean, of course, Megazord is still the sickest. You got to pay homage to the first. This show was amazing. They was always trying to find ways to fight Goldar. Rita was always trying to cause them chaos. And just when you think they destroy the monster, Rita will throw her thing from the moon, and the next thing it'll hit the planet, and next thing the thing grows humongous. Then they got to call the dinosaurs. Then got to call on dinosaur power, Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon, Triceratops, Saber-tooth Tiger, and then Pterodactyl. And then, of course, when they became the Thunder Megazord, it's like Tyrannosaurus, Red Dragon power, Mastodon, Triceratops, Crippin' Thunder Cell power, Triceratops, Crippin' Thunder Cell power, Mastodon, I think it was like, what's that? No, that's Pterodactyl, Crippin' Thunder Cell power, and then Saber-tooth Tiger, Crippin' was the Saber-tooth Tiger. I mean, it's just, that show was just off the chain. Best 2 seasons of superhero show. It's one of the first superhero shows I ever got to watch as a superhero team. Technically, it was the first superhero show I got to watch that was real live action. The show got bigger and bigger. Of course, it changed in actors in season 2. Trini, Zach, and Jason left, and then they replaced them with oh my God, Aisha, Herc, I think, and I can't remember the Black Ranger's name. Are you kidding me right now? But you know, this show was amazing, man. I mean, it's a groundbreaker, man. I mean, and then to top it off, Power Rangers went for 30 seasons, and I think it's still going. Like, I haven't really kept up with it. You know what I'm saying? Probably since SPD was the last time I really kept up with it, because I know I watched Zeo, and then when it got to SPD, I liked it because it was kind of futuristic. And then after that, I just kind of fell off of it, you know what I'm saying? But Power Rangers was off the chain, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's number 5 on my list. I mean, Power Rangers is just, oh my God, it was so great, you know what I'm saying? So Power Rangers comes in at number 5. At number 4, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or should I say Captain America and the Winter Soldier. In 2021, it came out 1 season so far, but I'm sure by the way it ended, I know there's going to be a season 2. It was so good. Out of all the Marvel miniseries that came out last year, Captain America by far, Winter Soldier was the best one, period. Bar none. It was just off the chain good. Of course, starring Anthony Mackie, who's Falcon / Captain America, and Sebastian Stan, who plays Winter Soldier. First, they start off hating each other's guts. Then they became homies at the end of the show. Of course, you got Emily Vanderkamp, who plays Sharon Carter / Agent 13. Then you've got Carly, who's played by Erin Kellerman. I love the character, even though she was supposed to be a villain, but I felt like she was misunderstood. And as the show went on, you started rooting for her. It was crazy because you realized why she was doing it. And then, of course, U.S. Agent played by Wyatt Russell. Now let's get back into Carly. You know, if you remember in Avengers Infinity Endgame, in the beginning, everybody was lost for that 5 years. But then when they returned, people just wanted things to go back to normal. She was like, hell no. People were starving before that 5 years, and then you want them to go back to starving again. So she's sort of rebelled, man. She and her other group of soldiers was doped up with this were put into their bloodstream like this super soldier serum that Captain America had, and she's over there just kicking butt left and right. I mean, she was proved to be an incredible leader. I mean, that character she's the kind of villain you pull for. It's sort of like when you pull for Darth Vader or Thanos. Like, she's one of those characters. I was bummed out that she died at the end of this thing, but the show was incredible, y'all. And if you haven't watched it, please go watch Captain America and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. That show is off the chain good. I mean, you get to see Falcon, and then that's another thing too. Falcon becoming the Captain America, you get to see Sam Wilson, the burden of wearing the costume, the burden of becoming the Captain America, the burden of him not being unsure of whether he wants to become the Captain America. And then the first episode, of course, Don Cheadle, aka War Machine, Rose, he comes in and talks to him like, why aren't you wearing the costume? And he's like, well, I mean, I'm not Captain America. And then as the show goes, you get to see him. And then in episode 5, oh man, it starts to go down. You know what I'm saying? He starts to feel like, okay, I need to take on this mantle because U.S. Agent is messing up the show. You know what I'm saying? But Captain America and the Winter Soldier, off the chain. This show was so good. If you have never watched it, you have got to watch it. It's just awesome, awesome, and awesome. And the acting is off the chain because you're literally taking the people from the movies, put them in the TV show. I mean, that's as smart as it can get. So, it was an amazing show. So Captain America and the Winter Soldier comes in at number 4, y'all. At number 3, Arrow, 8 seasons of awesomeness. It ended in 2021 or 2020. I'm not too sure, but it was 8 seasons of awesomeness. Of course, main focus, 2 characters were definitely Oliver Queen, aka played by Stephen Amell, and then of course John Diggle, played by David Ramsey. But you had Speedy, Laura Lance, Felicity Smoke, Roy Harper, Detective Quentin Lance, who was Laura Lance's father, aka Black Canary, Curtis, Curtis Holt, who played Mr. Terrific. And then you got Wild Dog on there, and they got Mia Smoke, also who eventually became Green Arrow, Green Arrow's daughter. I mean, this show was just awesome. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what am I watching? And I was really not a big fan of Green Arrow like that. I thought it was cool as hell on the TV show. Justice League Unlimited, of course, you know what I'm saying? That was an awesome cartoon series. That was another, I talked about it on a different podcast, but I was like, this dude is sick. The rich dude, he gets stuck on Lian Yu. And then he has to come back and sort of make amends for all the sins of his father, and then makes this list and comes back to Star City and starts just destroying all these villains left and right. I mean, he's putting people down. And then John Diggle, former military training, comes in and says, dude, you can't go around just murking people, man. You need to like find another way to deal with this. So instead of murking people, now it's just whooping them. And so he gets help. John Diggle becomes Spartan, you know what I'm saying, becomes his partner. Then you add Speedy, who's his sister. Then you add Roy Harper, who becomes Red Arrow. Actually, Speedy and Roy Harper both are Red Arrow in different times. Laura Lance becomes a Black Canary, and then Felicity Smoke, she's the tech person on the show. I mean, it was just an incredible show, y'all. If you never watched it, which would be shocking, it's available on CW and it's free. I don't know if it's still there now. It might be on CWC. Hopefully, it's not. It's still on CW. But Arrow was an amazing show. It's what launched Supergirl, Flash, DC Legends, Batwoman. I mean, and it was the first to do the crossover stuff, because obviously the first crossover was with Flash, Supergirl. They all came onto the Arrow show, and it was just an incredible show, y'all. I mean, it's just, man, this show was sick, man. I mean, it was just it was sort of like he was the Batman of the CW universe, basically, is how I saw Green Arrow. I mean, of course, Oliver Queen is the character, but Stephen Amell did such a great job of playing that character. He just brought it to life, man. I mean, I was like, Green Arrow is a sick ass character. I mean, just sick. I was like, this dude is a sick superhero. This is what I'm talking about. So, a great show. That's why it comes in at number 3, Arrow. At number 2, 2 spots. One, Black Lightning, and the other one's Manthis, played by Carl Lumbly. Oh my God, Manthis. As a kid growing up, I had never seen an African-American superhero that was like a doctor during the day, then like a superhero at night. It was incredible. He had the chrysalis. He had the detective who was his partner. And then he had the camera guy who got things for him. I mean, it's just, the Mantis show was one season. I believe it was either 13 episodes or 19 episodes. I can't remember, but it was just an incredible show. It was before its time. Of course, it was played by the great Carl Lumbly, who also stars as the voice of Master Mindhunter. He's also on the Falcon show, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. He was, in that show, he plays the first Captain America that nobody knew about that was an African American. But back to this Mantis TV show. This was sick. He piloted the chrysalis. He was a rich doctor. He got into an accident. So let me tell you all the profile of Mantis. He gets hurt as a doctor in an accident. He's paralyzed. So he's like, he's not going to just live with his paralysis. So he decides to create this exoskeleton suit. But in creating the exoskeleton suit, he realizes this exoskeleton suit is not only bulletproof, but it gives him superhuman strength, jumping. It just enhances him as a human being. So everything a human being can do it 10 times as much. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to become a superhero. And he starts defending the city. I mean, it's just insane. He's finding this unbelievable chrysalis that hovers over the city. I mean, you had never seen anything like it. Mantis was like a show before its time. Like, nothing like it had ever been done before. And what was really cool about it was played by a brother. I mean, Carl Lumbly did such a fantastic job. As a kid growing up, he inspired Carjack for Assassins. And hopefully I get to meet him one day and tell him that. Because him, Wesley Snipes playing Blade, I mean, they gave me the courage to create Carjack for Assassins and realize, you know what? We are heroes too. And so, Mantis was a sick show. If you've never watched it, I don't know if you can find it on YouTube, but if you can't, take your butt on Amazon.com and buy that DVD, man. I'm sure it's available on DVD or VHS. It's got to be on there, you know what I'm saying? Mantis was an incredible show. You got to watch it. On the other side of that, number 2, Black Lightning, 4 seasons from 2018 to 2021. This show was incredible in one way because it was the first time I had seen a TV show of superheroes, African Americans primarily, a family defending Freeland. Freeland sounded like something like Metropolis, Gotham, just any superhero city, Central City, Star City, you name it. That's what Freeland felt like. Except it was guarded by Black Lightning. And what I loved about Black Lightning was he was a superhero. Usually the stereotypes are you don't get these superheroes that don't have some kind of dirt on them. I mean, it's like the complete opposite of Luke Cage. It's like Luke Cage, they criminalized him to make him a hero. Whereas Black Lightning was just a hero. He was a teacher during the day, then he was a superhero at night. And man, he was kicking butt. I mean, you got God knows how many volts of electricity running through this man. I mean, he could fly. He could have electricity come out of his hands. Of course, he had his daughter play Thunder, Lightning. So, you know, of course, Black Lightning starred Cress Williams. And then, of course, his arch nemesis Tobias Well, played by Crundon, who's also a rapper too. And then Jefferson Pierce is the name of Black Lightning, of course, the character. Thunder is played by Nessa. Lightning, Lynn, his wife, who's really smart. Khalil, who plays Painkiller. And from what I understand, there's going to be like a spin-off of a TV show called Painkiller. So looking forward to seeing that. Peter Gamby, who plays the tech guy on the show. Gravedigger is played by Wayne Brady, who comes in as like this crazy super villain, just can do everything. He's got mental powers, he's got super strength, he got speed. I mean, he comes in there season 3 and just like turns everything upside down. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then, of course, you got Technocrack, who's the dude on the team who could infiltrate any kind of technology. He talks to technology, computers, anything that's got technology in it, he can talk to them. And then, of course, you got Lady Eve, played by Lady Eve. And then you've got Lala, and then you've got Grace, who plays the love interest of Nessa, aka Thunder. This show was incredible. Like I said before, never as a show where a family of African Americans are the family of superheroes, and these guys are just defending the city of Freeland from all kinds of unscrupulous individuals. Main one being Tobias Well, and Tobias Well, his own character. Like, I love this diction. Like, the guy was a smart villain. Like, he would use words. I'm like, I can't even pronounce what he just said. You know what I'm saying? So it was just an incredible character, and Crundon does such a great job of just delivering his words, his terminologies, the way he spoke. And I love that we always insulted all the other characters of the show, like letting them know how incompetent they were. I mean, and he was a villain that wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Of course, he had minions under him, but you know, it was just a sick show, man. Black Lightning, I felt like it ended prematurely, and this show particularly is what makes me can't stand DC sometimes. They make some stupid decisions. Yes. Why would you end Black Lightning? It was an incredible show. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was an incredible show. It was just one of those shows that just was groundbreaking. It opened the doors for a lot of other things, for other shows. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Batwoman, they were able to switch from Ruby Rose to this young lady's name, Javia Leslie, who plays Batwoman now. I mean, Black Lightning was just, man, it was just sick, man. I was like, how do you just end it? It just felt like something that should went for like 7 seasons, man, because to be honest with you, I feel like it was a better show than Supergirl. I think the only show on DC that I thought was better than it was Arrow, and it wasn't that far behind. So, you know, Black Lightning comes in at number 2. It was a great show. I can't believe it ended on 4 seasons, but no matter what happens, it made history, because now there's going to be other shows that are going to come behind it to continue that history. So Black Lightning comes in at number 2 with Mantis. They come in at number 2. At number 1, Blade, 2006, 1 season, starring Sticky Fingers, aka Kirk Jones. When I found out that Sticky Fingers was playing Blade, I was like, oh, that's going to be so sick. Now, for y'all who don't know for some of y'all know Sticky Fingers as part of the rap group Onyx, right? You know what I'm saying? But for the rest of us, some people who don't know, he's an actor. And when they said he's gonna play Blade, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Now, for y'all who don't know, Blade, the animated series in 2012, was actually based on the Blade that he played in 2006. If you look at it, the Blade from 2012 was bald. He wore the same kind of trench coat that Sticky Fingers wore in the TV show. The thing that tripped me out was, how in the hell was this show only 1 season? Of course, it was written by David S. Goyer, who also wrote the original Blade and Blade 2. I couldn't believe this show ended on 1 season. Of course, let's talk about the actors that were in it. Sticky Fingers, of course, plays Blade. You got Shen, who plays the tech guy. Krista, she's a former military person, comes back home and becomes like a vampire, and then gets to become Blade's informant. Marcus Van Sciver is the main arch nemesis on the show. He's just the evil individual who wants to, not only doesn't want to destroy Blade, but he wants to destroy the purebloods who get on his nerves, his last nerves, I might say. Then, of course, his Lieutenant Chase, who's an all-out kick-butt lady who's just whooping anybody who needs to catch a whooping. Then, of course, you got Agent Collins, who's like going around not realizing there's a whole other world outside the world he lives in, and he stumbles upon like Blade and then become allies. I mean, this show was sick, man. Sticky Fingers, man, I couldn't believe this show was one season. Sticky Fingers did such a great job. The charisma, the character, the swagger, the whole aura of the Blade thing, man. It's like he took parts from what Wesley Snipes had done in the original movies and brought it to the TV show. I mean, Sticky Fingers did such a great job. I was so bummed out. I'm over here waiting on the last episode. I'm like thinking, okay, episode 13, they fight in the conclave. Him and Van Sciver nobody wins. It's a draw. Krista goes off with Van Sciver. They're in Blade's base of operations is burnt down. And he lets her know, hey, I know what you've been doing, how long you've been working for Blade. And it ends like that. I'm like, ooh, there's going to be season 2. And here we are in 2021, like 14 years later, ain't no season 2. Man, I was bummed out, man. How they going to do me like that? You know Blade's my favorite superhero. But, you know, that's what happens with all these awesome superheroes, TV shows. Blade is still great no matter what. It's still number 1 on my list forever. It's always going to be my favorite TV show of all time. You know what I'm saying? But if I ever have a TV show for Cards of Assassins, then we'll move that up to number 1, and Blade's gonna slide down to number 2, and everything else will fall down concurrently. But you know, that's what we do here at this show. You know, and now that I'm talking about Cards of Assassins, just to remind y'all, you can get your poster on ScienceVision.com. You know what I'm saying? That's ScienceVision.com or ScienceVisionShop.com. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, today was my top TV shows. Blade came in at number 1, but honorable mention at number 1. In the future, number 1 is going to be Cards of Assassins. So, you know, I want to thank y'all for listening. And before we get out of here, I want to thank our sponsors, A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details. Check out A4CapitalConsulting.com for details. And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details. That's AnadelCenter.com for details. So y'all, I want to thank y'all for listening. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Agboki. Please check out our podcast wherever you listen, whether it's Amazon, Desert, Spotify, Apple. You can also go to our website at ScienceVisionShop.com. Please check out our website, ScienceVisionShop.com or ScienceVision.com for all these cool new items we have. We have the new Batas 2 Platinum, and we have the new Batas 2 Regular. It's sick, off the chain. We got low tops and high tops, so check it out. Please check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, all at Science Vision. And please don't forget to review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. And as always, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week, y'all. Stay safe. Peace.